The Chinese nation is a great nation that does not fear violence and that stands independent and strong.
China continues to dominate headlines this week, first with the SCO summit in Tianjin, where it tried to position itself as a stable and reliable partner. And now with the Victory Day parade in Beijing, where China is flexing its military muscle. You may have seen the pictures already. China held a massive military parade today, the first of its kind in 5 years. And what was the occasion? The 80th anniversary of China's victory over Japan in World War II. That's how they put it. So kicking off the spectacle was an 80-gun salute. This was China's largest ever military parade, the largest in their history. It was attended by 50,000 people, not to mention a long list of foreign dignitaries. There were more than 25 heads of state, including Russian President Vladimir Putin and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. These two were the guests of honor, Putin and Kim. They flanked Chinese President Xi Jinping at the parade. The event was replete with symbolism, starting from Xi Jinping's attire. He wore a Mao suit today, a suit similar to what Mao Zedong used to wear, clearly an attempt to channel Mao, the father of modern China, and that too on a day like this when Xi has outdone Mao. Xi Jinping has held more military parades than Mao Zedong. Even in the Mao era, China had a massive military. In terms of troop numbers, they were quite big. But their weapons were primitive. Today, Xi Jinping showcased a different PLA. That's what they call their military, the PLA, the People's Liberation Army. Today, they showcased a modern fighting force. Although this force is still not battle-tested, but the scale was staggering. 10,000 troops marched in Tiananmen Square. There were more than 100 aircraft and hundreds of other weapon systems. This includes conventional weaponry and advanced tech, from air defense lasers to stealth fighter jets, anti-ship missiles, undersea drones. Like I said, most of it is not battle-tested, so take China's claims with a pinch of salt. They even showcased robot dogs. That's right, Beijing's new soldiers are robot dogs. So China flexed serious military muscle today, but what was their real objective? What were they trying to do? They were trying to send a message to rivals and partners alike. For Xi Jinping, this was a chance to show progress, to highlight the rapid modernization of China's armed forces. The PLA now claims to have hypersonic missiles, unmanned aerial systems, counter-drone weapons, and cyber and electronic warfare tools. And they say all of it has been built at home. All of it is made in China. The idea is to signal that the PLA can wage war across all domains: land, sea, air, cyber, and space.
The Chinese nation is a great nation that does not fear violence, and that stands independent and strong. In the past, when confronted with a life-or-death struggle between justice and evil, light and darkness, progress and reaction, the Chinese people stood united, rose up in resistance, and fought for the survival of the country, the rejuvenation of the nation, and the cause of human justice. Today, humanity once again faces a choice between peace and war, dialogue and confrontation, mutual benefit and zero-sum competition. The Chinese people firmly stand on the right side of history.
For the US and its allies, Beijing had a political message too. Xi Jinping was flanked by Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong-un, and their presence was no coincidence. It was a declaration of intent. China is shaping an anti-Western alliance, and the guest list underlined this intent. Look at the attendees: Belarus President Lukashenko, Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian, Cuba's Miguel Diaz-Canel, and Myanmar's military chief Min Aung Hlaing. They were all there for the parade in Beijing, all united by one purpose: an opposition to the West, and by extension, an alignment with China. The West wanted to isolate these countries. Instead, they have come together and formed a coalition, one that China is happy to back. And the message was delivered to the intended recipient, US President Donald Trump. As the images from Beijing came in, Trump launched a fresh attack on Xi. He said China is conspiring against the US along with Russia and North Korea. Trump wrote a message for Xi on Truth Social. This is what he said: "Please give my warmest regards to Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong-un as you conspire against the United States of America." This is America's response to China's parade, a presidential rant. Meanwhile, the US Congress is pushing sanctions on some Chinese officials. This is over the fentanyl crisis. The House of Representatives, which is their lower house of the American Parliament, has passed this bill. Plus, President Trump is targeting TSMC. That's Taiwan's chip-making giant, TSMC. It has factories in both China and Taiwan, and it uses technology and tools built in the US. So now the Trump administration is trying to block it so that US chip-making tools do not reach TSMC plants in China. And to do this, they have revoked TSMC's license. It's the same old weapon of economic sanctions, although it's proving to be a blunt tool. Take the example of Russia. Russia has more than 20,000 Western sanctions. Trump gave Putin an ultimatum last month: stop the war in Ukraine in 50 days or face the consequences. Well, that 50-day deadline has passed today, and the war in Ukraine is still on. Trump's ultimatum has not even slowed it down. And today, the leaders of Russia, China, and North Korea, along with many others, are not just shrugging off American sanctions and threats, they're marching together.